What is bullying? Bullying is repeated actions or threats of action directed towards a person by someone with more power or status that causes the victim to feel fearful, distressed, or harmed. Bullying can be physical, for example being hit, kicked, pushed, or spat upon. Verbal, such as name-calling, saying nasty and hurtful things, or starting gossip or rumours. Psychological, making people believe that they are inadequate, friendless, or not wanted. It can be cyberbullying, using the internet or social media to cause fear, distress, or harm. Isolation, to deliberately leave someone on their own or isolate them from others. Harassment, usually because of race, gender, or sexuality. Things that are not bullying. That seems quite clear. So what is not bullying? Well, an isolated incident of calling someone a name, being rude, teasing, or having an argument is not bullying. It still needs to be sorted out, but calling someone a bully when they have simply fallen out is not helpful. There can be a tendency to use the term bullying far too often and out of context. The problem with this is that long-term, ongoing bullying that must be stamped out can become lost in untangling what are actually normal fallouts. We will not always get on with each other. People will not always be kind. We won't always like each other or want to be friends. We might be disappointed that someone we like doesn't want to spend time with us, but we must learn to be tough about one-off situations or simple clashes of character. This is part of life and part of growing up. We need to build resilience because we will meet people who are not always kind and pleasant in adult life and may not even like us. Bullying. However, we absolutely should not put up with real bullying. Bullying cannot be accidental. Bullies know exactly what they are doing. Bullying is long-term, deliberate, and repeated acts of nastiness, and is always between unequal parties. The bully will be in a dominant role because they are bigger, stronger, older, more confident, in a position of power, or with a greater number of allies.
I am the person you bullied at school. I am the person who didn't know how to be cool. I am the person you alienated. I am the person you ridiculed and hated. I am the person who sat on her own. I am the person who walked home alone. I am the person you scared every day. I am the person who had nothing to say. I am the person with hurt in her eyes. I am the person you never saw cry. I am the person living alone with her fears. I am the person destroyed by her peers. I am the person who drowned in your scorn. I am the person who wished she hadn't been born. I am the person you destroyed for fun. I am the person, but not the only one. I am the person whose name you don't know. I am the person who just can't let go. I am the person who has feelings too. I was a person just like you.
Why do some people become bullies? There are many reasons for this, but one factor which is in common for all bullies is that they feel inadequate about themselves in some way. They're desperate to block out their own hurt and feelings at the expense of others. They also have the characteristic of being fearful themselves. They are inevitably cowards, as their very choice of victim shows, and they love an audience of followers as it increases their feeling of power and importance. So that no one can bully me first, because it makes me feel powerful. Because secretly I think I'm ugly and you're pretty. Because I don't think people will like me. Because I'm scared of losing my friends who also bully others. I hurt inside. I hate my life and I hate myself. Because you are unique and different and able to be yourself. Because it makes me feel big to make you feel small. Because you're far more clever than us. Because we're jealous but don't want people to know. Because I'm so unhappy in my own life, so why should you be happy? Because someone else is hurting me.
So what can we do about bullying? The first message is really clear. Whether you are the one being bullied, or whether you know of someone being bullied, you must be brave enough to tell. Bullies count on scaring people into silence. This is not being a grass, a snitch, or a telltale. There is no code that says you have to suffer at the hands of someone else. You have a right to live peacefully and happily without the fear of bullying. The second message is to be really clear. Think about what you want to say and ideally write it down. It's very human to be upset as we recall unpleasant or nasty incidents, and this often causes us to tell a confusing account, missing things out. A. Who was bullying you? And who was with them? B. When incidents have taken place, ideally the day, the time and the place. C. Where the incidents took place. There might be cameras around, or if it's in a school, it might help the school to ensure a greater staff presence in that particular place. D. What happened? This needs to be factual. Do not exaggerate it or make it less than it was. Facts are far more difficult for the bullies to dispute. E. How long has it been going on? This helps determine that it is bullying rather than a simple fallout. And F. Be clear about your part in it. It is understandable if you have said or done something that you wish you hadn't, but much better to say this from the start. And the third message is to be prepared to go back and tell again. Often, if the bullying does not stop at once, we assume that either nothing has been done or nothing can be done. This is not true. Many bullies do stop immediately but others push the boundaries to see if they can still get away with it. Schools have a number of tactics and a variety of sanctions that they can use. They will keep working on the issues if they know that they haven't yet been solved.
Schools and bullying. The law states that every school must have anti-bullying measures, usually a policy, that explain how they encourage good behaviour and prevent all forms of bullying that may happen in school or whilst the child is in uniform on the way to and from school, although this is slightly less straightforward. It's worth noting that cyberbullying, in particular, often happens outside school and is not usually the remit of the school, although even then they may try and help. The law and bullying. In law, there is no legal definition of bullying, but some actions are illegal and can be reported to the police. Harassment and intimidation over a period of time, including calling them names, threatening them, making abusive phone calls, or sending abusive texts or emails. Physical attacks. Anything involving hate crime. In practice, it's rare for the police to be involved, although schools with an assigned Safer Schools officer may use them as part of dealing with a complaint. Repeated harassment, violence, or hate crime can lead to a bully being given an antisocial behaviour order, also known as an ASBO. In cases of a serious assault, the school may well involve the police themselves. A parent or victim also has the right to do this themselves, although many will be led by the school.